Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the tobacco fragrances that I have in my collection. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a ton because a lot of the time tobacco fragrances tend to lean quite masculine on me, and I don't like to smell masculine. So these are all tobacco fragrances that I feel like don't smell masculine on me, and yeah, that I really love. So I do only have 4 fragrances here, but I am going to jump right in. So the first one, and I think this is the first tobacco fragrance that I ever added to my collection. I've had this for a really long time. This is in the super old bottles that these used to come in. This is an Alexandria fragrance, and this is called Fade to Black. This is a clone of Kilian Back to Black. I do have a decant of Kilian Back to Black, and I have tested them side by side, and they are very, very similar. Let me know if you guys are interested in an Is It a Dupe video. I would be happy to do that. This one it's so spot on. I love this though. This is like sweet pipe tobacco and honey. It is so decadent smelling and rich. The honey note is so realistic smelling, and the sweet pipe tobacco is also so realistic smelling. It's gorgeous. I love this perfume. This was the perfume that really made me fall in love with tobacco perfumes. Again, it's old. I've had this for so long. This is the first packaging that they ever came out with. Yeah, I adore it. I love it so much. It's like perfectly unisex. It might even lean just a touch feminine to my nose. I just think it's gorgeous. I love it. It's warm. It's rich. It smells like dripping honey and sweet pipe tobacco. It's just really, really good. It's a good one. So anyways, that is Alexandria Fragrances Fade to Black. Such a beauty. I could have included Kilian Back to Black, but I didn't want to include them both because I just felt like it was completely redundant. But again, if you guys do want an Is It a Dupe video, I will definitely do that for you. Okay, next we have got this one here. This is from Elizabeth and James, and this is called Nirvana Amethyst. Amethyst? Yes, Nirvana Amethyst. And this one is much more simple. It's only got like 3 notes in it. And this one is not sweet at all. This one is just honeysuckle, tobacco, and cedar. And to me, it's mostly just tobacco and cedar. I really don't get much of the honeysuckle at all. There's no sweetness. For me, there's just really not a floral aspect to this at all. It's pretty much tobacco, and it's like a dry tobacco, like a dry pipe tobacco and cedar. A soft, slightly woody, delicate cedar. It's really very simple, but really, really nice smelling. It's a very easy to reach for perfume. It's great this time of year. This one can be worn all year round because it is quite delicate, but I love it this time of year. Again, it's more of a dry smelling fragrance, so it's just really easy to wear. I really love this one. Yeah, and if you like kind of a more dry tobacco rather than a sweet tobacco, I think you would really like this one. I feel like the Elizabeth and James Nirvana fragrances are very underrated. They are very simple, but they all smell really, really nice. So anyways, that is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Amethyst. And you can still find them, you should be able to still find them on FragranceNet for a pretty decent price. They have all been discontinued though, so eventually they'll go away and then they'll become difficult to find and very expensive. Okay, next I've got a Zara fragrance, and this is from the Zara Tobacco collection, and this is called Rich Warm Addictive. This is the original formulation of this. From what I understand, this has been reformulated. I've heard the reformulation is not very good. I adore this formulation though. This one is tobacco and coconut, and ooh, I love it. This one is sweet. This one is tobacco and coconut and honey. This one is sweet, but it's not overly sweet. This one isn't nearly as syrupy smelling as the Fade to Black from Alexandria or Back to Black from Kilian. It's a little bit lighter. but it's still a really beautiful sweet tobacco. But the added coconut gives it a little bit of a beautiful coconut smell, which I love. It's more of a fresh coconut rather than like a, I don't know, well, it does add a little bit of creaminess, but it's not like a beachy coconut. And this one is also a sweet tobacco. It's a sweet pipe tobacco. It's really, really nice. This one, I have to overspray this one. And when I say overspray, I mean I will literally drown myself in it. I will spray about 15 sprays of this. And if I go in really, really hard like that, I can get 6-7 hours out of it. I used to wear this one to work every once in a while. If I went in really, really hard with it and on my clothing too, I could get, like I said, a good 6 or 7 hours out of it. It would get me through most of my shift. But by the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to smell it anymore. My husband loves the way this smells, but he hates wearing it because he thinks it fades away too quickly. And it does, but he will not go in as hard as I do. I've told him before, if you want your cologne to last, you need to go in hard. You need to go in like, 8-10 sprays and deal with it being really, really strong for like 15 minutes. And then once it settles down, it will actually hang around for a long time. So anyways, yeah, really beautiful. But this again has been reformulated. I've heard the reformulation is not good. This is the original formulation and I love it. And yeah, it's such a good one. So anyways, that is Zara. You can see my husband and I have used a ton of this. We've used up about 40% of it or so. So anyways, that is Zara Rich Warm Addictive. And then last but not least, I have this one here. This is from Gilles Cantuel. This is a very difficult fragrance to find. If I can find it, I will link it for you guys. But it's really, really hard to find this one. This one is just called Vanilla. And this is basically a smell-alike of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. Yes. It's a really beautiful smell-alike of Tobacco Vanille. The real Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille is a little bit too much for me. It can be really, really too strong. My mom loves that perfume and she can pull it off, but it's almost just too much for me. This is an easier to wear version of it for me and I love it. If you like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, I think you would really like this. It's very, very similar, but just lighter. This one, I do go in hard with this one as well. Usually when I wear this, I'll wear 10 to 12 sprays of it, and I can get a good 8 hours out of it if I go in really hard with it. I love this one. I don't talk about this one much on my channel because every time I do, people want it and it's almost impossible to find, which is really sad. But it is a really good one. And I think I got it off of one of the Canadian websites for like, I don't know, $15 or something. It was so inexpensive. And it's such a good little underrated gem. This is the most masculine one, I would say, of all of my tobacco fragrances. This one is the most masculine smelling. But I love it. It's so pretty. I think you can find, I think Armaf makes a smell-alike of Tobacco Vanille. I think Just Jack, if you can find that brand anywhere, I think I think Just Jack is Armaf. If you can ever find that brand, I think they make a clone of Tobacco Vanille. Lots of brands make clones of Tobacco Vanille though, so it's not like super difficult to find. But anyways, that is Gilles Cantuel Vanilla. And that is gonna be it, guys. Those are all of the tobacco fragrances that I have in my collection. I'm sure I've got other like decants and samples of tobacco fragrances, but as far as like full bottles that I actually wear, those are all of the tobacco fragrances that I have. But anyways, I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.